Good morning, everybody. If you're near those computers, get ready to turn the cameras on. Let's see your smiling faces. Thank you, J-Rel. We're gonna. Man, you are missing out. If you can't come, I'm not trying to like pressure you or anything. We totally get that. But we have pastries. We have Valentine's Day gifts. We have free books. Anyways, I'm gonna wrangle this crowd. Just give me 2 seconds. Miss you too, Lena.
You want to whistle?
You don't mind?
You want to whistle?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you. While we're waiting for Brent is in the house, but you know he likes to pack his day, pack them solid. So let's kick it off with tell me something good. What good happened in the last week in your business? Let's start off. We'll go for 3. Do you have something?
I'm
Jen?
not allowed to say it yet, but I'm going to have something very large to share, hopefully by next week.
Very large to share. Okay. Something in the works. Maybe next week. Tell me something good.
Oh, I'm
There we
chomping
go.
at the bit. But yeah. Oh, okay. Here's something good that has nothing to do with real estate. I get to start practicing with the sheriff posse on drill.
There you go. That's something. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the drill.
All right, Darcy.
So I'm in contract on 700 acres out in Lincoln, and it's mitigated land. So when they built Sun City Lincoln, they built Lincoln Crossing, they killed off a lot of the wildlife. So they moved it all to there. But my client's buying it, and I'm learning all about what mitigated land looks like. So if you have any
Wow. 700 acres. That's incredible.
1.5 million, but you cannot even put a rake on the land. Water it, nothing. You
Oh
don't
gosh. Protect the snowy plover.
Yes.
And horses to chase the cattle.
The fairy shrimp.
Fairy shrimp. Okay.
Protect the fairy shrimp.
Fairy shrimp. All right. Well, hey, Mr. Brent Gove just walked into the room.
How's everyone
give him a hand of
doing? Good to
applause.
Here, you guys ready to have a good time today?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's start with the market update. I want to hear from you guys. We give you stats, we give you numbers all the time. What are you feeling out there? I want to hear what you're thinking. I'm gonna start with Cindy Silva. Cindy is a top agent. What are you noticing? We'll start with buyers. Forget sellers.
Okay, buyers are super flaky right now. 3 of my listings, the buyer we chose flaked out within 24 hours and we went to go with our backup offer. So I realized buyers are back to being flaky. What I'm realizing is now agents are, I'm still waiting to hear from Carr, but I think a lot of them are breaking the rules and they're writing multiple offers at the same time and waiting to see which one they get.
Which ones stick?
And which ones stick, and because they've actually told me, oh, I wrote 4 offers, but we got the one accepted that we really wanted, so we're gonna back out.
They told you that?
Oh, yeah, they straight told me.
Okay, so let's back up. You can write 4 offers. So here's how you do it. You write the offer, and then one expires at 2:00 today. And then you can have another offer written. You submit that one at 2:01. It expires at 5. That one expires at 7. And at 5, you can submit another one because it expires. The agents go, I can't respond that quick. And you go, no problem, take extra time. But never tell the listing agent you've written 4 offers. Because it's like, oh my God, why would I go and escrow to you? I mean, you may choose one of these others. I am not going to do this. So if you're going to do it, it's only legal if you do it the way I just spoke about. If you write 4 offers, submit all at once, unless you have the ability to purchase all 4 homes at once, you cannot do it. So the hack, the legal get around is that offer expires at 2:00 today. At 2:01, you can submit another one. Technically, your offer is expired. That's the whole point of an expiration. You guys got me? Never tell the listing agent that. Okay. So, all right, moving on. Darcy, what do you think of this market? What are your opinions on what's going on?
Well, I'm seeing less listings on my side. I was like heavy listings for a while, and now
Okay.
I'm back to heavy buyers.
Heavy buyers.
Heavy buyers. So, and I'm getting credits.
Getting credits from sellers.
Yeah.
So sellers are paying closing costs, 5-10
Yeah.
grand.
I got a 20 grand credit
Oh,
last
wow.
week.
20,000
The house had
credit.
a lot of issues. Then we just wrote an offer 265, 500 square foot home in Sacramento, 5 grand credit, and we got accepted.
Awesome. Love it.
265 to buy a home. It's only 500 square.
In California, yeah. We have people watching from around the country. Okay? For those of you watching from around the country, you can still buy homes in California for $265. It's amazing. I want to go to Rodney. We're going to go to Rodney, one of our lenders. Rodney, from a lender perspective, what have you seen out there in the market? What do you not on loans, but what are you feeling about the market as far as the market goes?
I mean, historically, rates are still great. They have risen quite a bit in the last month, like 1%.
No, I don't want to talk about loans yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the loan, the interest rate market. I mean, the market.
Oh,
Buyers,
it's on
sellers.
fire. I
What?
mean, it's on fire.
It's on fire.
Yeah, lots of
Buyers are
trend.
buying home. You're busy.
Busy.
You're doing deals.
Applications are down because of mortgage applications on refinances, but overall on purchases, they're up.
Purchases are up. The
Everything
market's
is-
on fire.
Yeah, just less
Good.
selection, right? You're all seeing that.
Yeah. Luis in the back. What are you feeling about this market,
We
Luis?
did a ton of showings this weekend for 3 buyers, and it's super aggressive already. I almost like underset the expectations by a tad bit. It was pretty crazy everywhere. Keep in mind, I'm looking at like 400,000 to 500,000, so it's like a war zone at that price range. But
400,000 to
it's
500,000.
not that Q4 lull is gone. It's back to an aggressive market for sure.
Back to an aggressive market. Interesting. Any of us want to chime in on the market? I'd love to hear from you, Jen.
I have a tip, actually I have 2 tips. So one, same thing, I just had a buyer that got in contract at it was listed at 490, I got the contract 495. Somehow they didn't wait through the weekend. He's telling me there's multiple offers coming in. I was on communicating, did everything they asked, plus went overboard, right? Got the offer in. Another agent said they were sending an offer in $15,000 over $20,000 over our offer. She didn't hit send on, so she had to go back to her client and tell the client, so sorry we didn't get the home because she couldn't hit send on an email. I also impressed the listing agent because that form that I just taught, they were purchasing another home. This realtor is experienced, he's a Master Club member. He goes, I've never seen that form. And he goes, I actually was so impressed because you showed me a form I've never seen and you did write it so that it was favorable to the seller. I was like, of course I did. You said multiple offers. And I go, why would I do it on a different one? You can have it all kind of, he goes, that I knew you knew what you were doing when I saw that. Same thing, still got, even though they had a backup offer position, I still got $2,000 credit. The appraisal came in higher than we were in escrow for.
Nice.
So if you want a new appraiser tip and you have a single daughter and the appraiser has a single son, you give the appraiser your single daughter's phone number and poof, the appraisal comes in high.
There you go.
All right. So, okay, so moving on. Well, a question for you guys. Are we in a seller's market or are we in a buyer's market? What do you guys think? What do you feel? Still a seller's market. Okay. Now, having been down this road twice, and this is my 3rd go around, I got in the market in the 90s. You can buy any home in California for $500. You have a job and $500. You can have anything you wanted. That's how the deal worked. The commissions were 5% to the buyer's agent. Okay, so then there was the 2005 to 2011 correction for California. The rest of America, 2007, 2008 to 2011. Some of them were slower to come out, 12 and 13. But so there was that one, and now there's this one. What happened each time at the top of the market was buyers get spooky. Buyers get spooked. And Cindy hit it on the head at the very beginning. They start to jump out of escrow. They start to jump out. They start to, then like our price is high or low?
High.
Is everyone like going, yes, 20 offers, I got it. I paid more than anybody. Woo! I got that golden ticket. And so, they did that 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, but it is starting to shift, even though it is a seller's market. Let me ask you a question. A year ago, were we getting $20,000 of closing costs paid? No. So what it is you're in a shifting market right now, like in the Sahara Desert. The winds of change are amongst us right now. It is time to make hay while the sun is shining. This is not the time to buy a timeshare, not the time to buy a boat, it's time to squirrel away some cash and get ready because the market's going to shift. It could be another year or 2 or 3, but it's coming. Now, with that said, the builders, anybody dealt with builders lately? I mean, they have 80 people on the waiting list and they're like, okay, here you've been picked. Here's the home, here's the lot, here's the deal, take it or leave it. We got 79 that want this home. We'll take it. And here's the price you're going to pay. And so it is pretty crazy. So because there's a lack of housing, this market is pushing forward, and it may push forward for a year or 2 or 3. The market's great. Whoever thinks it's great. The market's difficult. Whoever thinks it's difficult. You got to get excited. You got to work hard, and all of a sudden you get on this momentum. Who knows what it's like where everything you touch turns to gold, man? You got the magic, right? You got to get there, and that takes massive effort. So thanks for the market update. That was very helpful. Okay, now we're going to switch to lending. Rodney, I was not clear enough with you. So interest rates, where are they on an FHA loan roughly, and conventional? What are a lot of lenders giving out roughly, say FHA 30-year fixed? Where are they roughly at?
I think you're gonna probably hear numbers starting with 4 in front of it all of a sudden. They've jumped that much.
Okay.
I mean, you can shop around and find it a lot less still. You can still be in the 3s, mid 3s. I did
But they're trending up.
They're definitely trending up. Yes, across the board. And the one that's going to be coming up the most, and we've talked about it in this group a couple times, is your second home, vacation home. And if you want to know what that means, because there's been different terms that are coming out. So this is a good talk time to your clients if you have someone who wants to sell it, or if they're keeping it and you want to tell them, hey, take advantage of the rates, they're still down. Look at what the investment home and jumbo home pricing on rates are doing. And those are in the 4s, right? So that's where your second home, which right now you could get a 3.5 on a second home, just like you can on your primary, but that's changing next month. So it's coming real quick.
To get financing for 30 years at 4% is incredible. To get financing for 30 years in the 3s is magical. And to get financing for 30 years in the 2s is insane. We've been in an insane realm, like literally, like you might as well find 2.5, 2.7. It was insane. 3s is just incredible. It's like a dream. 4s is phenomenal, right? When the old man got into real estate in the mid 90s, 27 years ago, guess what? When the rates hit in the 7s, we freaked out and threw a party. I remember, oh my gosh, 7.9%. And it was like when rates here hit like 2.9, 2.7, we were so excited, it broke 8%. I remember that. And then it was in the 7s and it stuck down to the 6s and we just lost our minds, 6%. So you guys, this 3.5 to 4 business, it's only a problem if it's a problem for you. If it's a problem for you, you got a big problem. Because what you want to do is go, isn't that house beautiful? Won't you have a great time raising your family here? You can have an organic garden. The kids can ride their trikes. They won't be abducted out of your front yard because you got a backyard now. And you got to build the dream with people, right? I have this couple, they you know what, finally put over the edge. They were like, the market's high. Their bicycles got stolen off the back porch of their apartment complex. They were in a nice apartment complex, 2nd story. They had the kids' bikes up there. Someone shimmied up there, lowered the bikes down. They realized there was a criminal on their porch. And I go, I looked at them and said, can your kids just go out and play around this apartment complex? It was a luxury. They're like, no. I go, what's that like? What does that feel like?
Yeah.
You guys want to sell it? It doesn't feel good. I go, what would it be like if you had a home for your family? The kids go in the backyard. It's all fenced, nice big 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre, 1/3 of an acre. They can play, maybe a trampoline, a pool, and you could let them play, keep an eye on them. But it was kind of like you had boundaries, like a fence, and it's your. They go, man, they bought a $780,000 home, and that was 17 years ago. That was a lot of money, and I made a big old commission because I got in and found out their motivation.
Yeah.
Do you find out what inspires them? They can't paint a wall. They can't remodel. They can't do this. Do you really like being a renter? And just be quiet. No, we hate it. How long have you been renting for? 8 years. Do you know what that's cost you? Do you know the tax benefits of ownership? Home ownership are like $400, $500, $600 a month. Every month you just take $500 and just burn it. I go, the payment isn't $3,200 a month. It's $2,500, $2,600 a month. You're not factoring in the tax benefits. Make sure you always subtract the tax benefit. Talk to a CPA. But I'm telling you, it's going to be like $400, $500, $600, $700 a month, depending on their situation. So your payment's not 28, it's 23. Can you afford 23? No, it says 20. No, it's 23. Because now your employer can't take what they were taking from your paychecks. You're going to get another $500 a month. We take it off 20, it's 23. If you mythically get $500 more a month net on your paycheck, it shows up because of this house. You apply the 5 to the 28. What's the payment? I get them to tell me 23. I go, does 23 feel comfortable to you? Yes, does 28 feel comfortable? Does 23 feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Right? Now your first payment is we're gonna close next month in, what month are we in? Is this February? When you live on an island, you just literally you lose track of days, you know? But so here's the deal. I go, we're gonna close in March, say March 10th. You know when your first payment is? May. We're gonna buy a home today. You're not gonna make a payment till May. You guys with me? It calms people down. They're like, anything could happen between now and May. You can win the lottery. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, people like, really no payment? I go, no, and I'm gonna hand you the keys in March. You move in March, you don't pay till May. You get your security deposit back if you're at your current place. And how would you like to move in March? Am I doing the math right? Yeah, April 1st, May 1st. And no payment. It's not even late till May 15th. So I'm going to hand you the keys March 12th. And you don't even have to make that payment till May. You laugh. I'm the one who sold 14 homes in a month. Now, there might be one person in this room that broke that record. Maybe. Did you get the 12? Did you get the 4? What was it?
I got 12.
Oh!
So,
So do I still am the reigning champ of 14 home
No,
sales?
didn't Andrea Parker beat you by 1?
I haven't heard that.
I
But here's the deal, it's true, like if I lose in golf, I conveniently forgot we played that course. You need to have, see, that's part of a lesson in life. You need to forget your losses, learn from them, but forget them. Shake it off, baby. Even Jesus told the 12 disciples, shake it off when people mistake, move on to the next town. You guys replay your losses. Well, they listed with the Coldwell Banker. The buyer bought from the builder, bought from a Keller Williams agent or a Remax or a fellow EXP agent took my buyer, you know, victim or victor. You're being a victim if you're upset that somebody took something from you. Listen to me, nobody took anything from you. You didn't give good enough service. That is the fact. They would not have left. Well, they talked them out of it. Let me just tell you right now, get better. There's obviously you did something for them to choose somebody else. And sometimes it's self-serving, like, well, I'm going to buy from John because he's the listing agent and you didn't do anything wrong, but they were self-serving going, I know you spent a year helping me. I'm going to buy from the listing agent. And that's how that deal goes. So it's not always your fault, but you want to ask, you call them and go, what could I have done differently? They say, well, you were constantly late. You didn't know anything about the school districts. You didn't know anything about things that were important to us. So you could argue, but that's not important, right? You should be homeschooling your kids. Right? Now you're not listening. You got to listen to feedback and say, okay, so I would go learn about the school districts. I would be 10 minutes early and just text and make calls. Don't be late, right? And improve. You guys with me?
Mhm.
You can argue with them, and that's a fool's errand. Or you can learn from them and have a great life. Okay, you with me? Okay, we're gonna move on. So the lending world, and conventional rates are where roughly?
Right around 4,
Right around 4.
which is a big jump, which is a big important. I know guaranteed there's some deals in this trend in this meeting right here. It happens so quickly. Every 1/4% increase in rate will disqualify about 2.5% of the buyers. Right? We have really 10% now. So if you're working with someone with pre-approved months ago, better recheck them.
Yeah.
There are some strategies you can apply though. Recently I had one where they wanted a certain point, and that's where they qualified for on a payment, right? And I showed a strategy where they could pay some discount points, not to the lender, right? Buying down the rate, prepaying interest, and they were able to save $18,000 and get their payment. They got a lower rate and they still kept it versus putting down 30%, right? So
Beautiful.
keeping that money in their pocket was important.
If you're not best friends with your lender, like if you're not tight, you need to become that. If you don't have a lender that you're tight with, you can text, you can meet for coffee, meet with Rodney. He's been around the business longer than I have. It means he's old like me. And but I love him. He wouldn't be in this room if I didn't trust him. There's also Alicia. I don't know if she's watching online. But oh, there's Alicia. I didn't even know did you hear me giving you a shout out? And I go, I don't know if she's online.
Drop one piece to this and just to piggyback off Rodney, he is fantastic. And
Come forward a little bit so we can
Just
see you.
saying first rate out of his mouth is in the 4s is he's honest, number one, because a lot of lenders out there aren't, right? It is normal. I am literally, you guys, selling 2.5 points to 3 points on every single loan I do right now. And let me explain to you why. And if your dialogue with your customer is, hey, points are normal now, what do you mean? check with your lender on how much points you can pay. A client yesterday, Cindy's client, or Brenda's client, right? They were so fixated on the payment, and I said, what are you comfortable contributing into this? I used my mortgage algebra to change the LTV and spent 3 points buying their rate down. But it saved the 10 grand, it saved them. Had they had a 10 grand lower loan amount, would have been $50. Spending 10 grand to buy points saved over $300 a month. Such a dramatic difference in interest. They recouped it in under 3 years, the client, but they're in this for the long haul. So they got that super low rate and they spent the same as what they planned on, and now their payment was hundreds of dollars cheaper.
So go ahead. I want you to get this. You could put 10,000 down, lower the payment by $50 a month. Put 10,000, you pay in points to lower the rate, lowers the payment not by 50 a month, but by 300 a month. You guys with me? Brilliant. So I want you to meet with Alicia. I want you to meet with Rodney. They are in this room. There's only 2 lenders I have ever allowed in this room over the last 6-7 years, and you're looking at them. And so there's a trust factor through the roof for me, and you need to get to know them, and they can help you in your business. I cannot tell you, it's like the heartbeat of your business. Boom, 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 boom. Any listing agents here, even though you're not representing the buyer, how important is the lender in your transaction?
100%.
And when they can get on the phone, Rodney and Alicia, with that listing agent, I hope you guys are doing this. Hey, when I hang up the phone with you, Tammy Sainer, in the next 30 seconds, you're going to get a call from Rodney Rose. And the next 30 seconds, you're going to call from Alicia Stearman. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Newlywed Stearman. Boom, boom. All right. So had to work on that. But and they're both incredible people. And they're going to tell you FICO scores. They're going to tell you, you know, they got bank statements, W-2s, tax returns. They got pay stubs, they got verification. They're going to tell you why they can close in 2 weeks when everyone else is taking 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a month. They're going to show you why we can perform, how we can perform. It impresses the listing agent. I mean, Darcy Stratton is a big time listing agent. How often do other buyers agents do that to you?
Hardly ever.
Okay, Cindy, you're a big listing agent. How about you?
Hardly ever. Maybe if I get 10 offers, maybe 1.
So if you could impress the listing agent, knowing the listing agent has choices, do they have choices?
Yep.
So you've got to, so before I call a Cindy Silva or a Darcy Stratton or a Steve Evans or a Tom Costello or Lexi or Tammy Sainer or, you know, whoever it is, right? Before I make that call, I said, okay, I'm going to be calling Steve Evans. Rodney, here's Steve Evans, here's his number. I don't give him a snapshot. I want him because he's busy lender. Alicia's busy. I go, when I teach you the word go, you hit the button and excuse yourself off the phone call and make me look good. I need you to call him within 30 seconds. And because this is hand-to-hand combat. You don't think so? When you're up against 10 other offers, 5 other offers, 20 other, it is hand-to-hand combat. And how impressed would you, 2 of you have been, and Steve, if someone said that, my lender's going to call you within 30 seconds when I hang up the phone and tell you why we get this done. And that actually happens. 20 seconds later, 10 seconds later, the phone rings and like, wow, would you have been impressed? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Cindy, would it make a difference?
I expect it, and I'm shocked when they don't, because there's a lot of even big heavy hitters that don't do that. I'm like, I can't believe they've been doing business for 20 years and they don't do that. 'Cause it's such a simple
It's
task.
lazy.
That has a big impact.
They don't think about it. And then it's listing agents, we're busy. Now I got to go, okay, I get this letter from Guild, this letter from Wells Fargo, from Chase, from B of A, from a credit union. And I call and I get phone mail help, right? And I'm going through, then I get their voicemail. Hey, this is Brent Gove with Chase Bank. Leave me a message, I'll call you back. And I'm like, I have to decide if I'm going with these people or not. And all of a sudden, Steve Evans lender called me and I talked to Alicia Stearman or Rodney Rose, and they're like, boom, 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 boom. All things being equal, when I look at my seller, Clark Broom, in the face, and I said, look, we got choices, but I'm telling you what, this Steve Evans guy impressed the heck out of me. And in fact, I talked to his lender, and wow, Alicia, wow, Rodney, I may switch to them. These guys got their act together, all things being equal, and they are. I'm going to recommend you take Steve Evans. You know what do our clients say to us when we recommend they go with a certain buyer? What do? So don't think that listing agent, they say, well, you know, if you argue with them.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, I've had, they argue with you. Yeah. They ask you, well, Darcy, what would your sellers like? Well, they'd like you to pay $20,000 on their closing costs. are they crazy? Blah, 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 blah. You're like, you asked, right? And then they're tuning me. And do you guys want to be an escrow with that person who's right? And so I'm like, no problem. We see if my buyers will do it, right? See the difference? You say jump, I say how high. And they want you to paint the house purple after you move in because they're Kings fans. No problem. Let me see if they'll be willing to do it. I mean, literally, whatever they say is great, just great, no problem. Let me see what I can do. I don't say it's going to happen, but I'm like, you bet.
Or if they want the house deep cleaned.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the way, Steve, I've taken the liberty of scheduling the home inspection for Saturday morning. It's Thursday. Home inspectors are ready to go. And I've got we're going to order the appraisal in a rush. We're going to have that appraisal on your desk next week. And that's why we're closing in 9 days.
Wow.
And by the way, Steve, my partner, Brent Gove, and I, and my business partners, we control about 50 listings here in the area. If you write an offer on any of those, I will go to bat for my colleagues to take your offer. Do you guys talk to people like that? If you're working with Cindy Silva and you're working with Krista Proctor and you're working with Darcy Stratton, you work with John Jennings, John and Valerie. Is Valerie here?
I don't know where she is.
Valerie's not here. She just had a baby. Where is she? Why is she not here? Is she not committed?
I love you.
For crying out loud. Haley's in trouble. Haley.
She's showing houses. I got
She's showing houses.
She's making that cigar money. Yeah. Cigar money.
Here's a new mom showing houses. There we go. Just that's nursing. You're nursing a baby.
Can we get Lindsay up?
That's what they do. I've got 5 kids. They put them on there. Anyways,
Hey, on that
baby will stop crying. I quit crying.
on that happy note.
Something about the lender. I had an offer that I submitted last week and it literally said on the confidential agent marks, please use a local lender. And this was my investor from the Bay Area. So they're not going to use a local lender. They want to use their banks that their portfolio loans are with. So I submitted my offer and I said, just to let you know, it's going to be with B of A out of the Bay Area. And he was like, oh, you get cross approved. I said, no, don't worry. Within 30 seconds when I hang up, he's going to call you. It was multiple offers. My lender was the only lender who called and we got it and they let us use B of A.
Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Now that's being savvy. He kills it out there. We're going to switch gears real quick. We have the best cleaning service in Northern California. John, do a little introduction.
Yes, please. Welcome to the stage, Lindsay's Cleaning Service. This is Miss Lindsay. Give her a round of applause.
John, before she talks, tell them why she's here.
Now, she's here because we have a very picky client, and I've been struggling to find a cleaning service that can get out there in a reasonable time and do a good job. And this very picky client, we had her go out. We had Lindsay's team go out and do a deep clean of the house, and she loved it. She absolutely loved their cleaning services. And so I was like, okay, if this client's happy with Lindsay's cleaning service, any client's gonna be happy with Lindsay. So the rest of the team needs to meet her. So with that, Lindsay.
Good morning, I'm Lindsay with Lindsay's Cleaning, and excuse my voice, I'm not sure what happened, but I was like, perfect, wonderful. This morning I wake up with this voice. So we had brought breakfast and coffee and then a little bit of gifts. They just have some business cards and stuff. So I'll take a couple minutes about my company. We're a residential and commercial cleaning company. We also do tile cleaning, carpet cleaning, and window cleaning. Our Auburn location.
Just go down, press down.
Yes, we're right by Taco Tree.
Are always decorated.
Yes, all the Christmas. I'll show you pictures. Oh my gosh, that's like my jam. So yeah, we're huge in the community. We do like all the parades and stuff. Our office is always decorated. We're currently, and every year we win best of the best cleaning service, house cleaning, commercial cleaning, carpet, window, and tile. So like best of best Auburn, best of best Colfax, best Rockland. So our Auburn location, we service all of Placer County, but and we have several dozen cleaning techs. So it's not like we have a team of 2 or 4. So call us, we'll get you in. And we'll even go outside our service area for you for like one-time cleanings. We're opening our 2nd location right now in El Dorado Hills. So that'll cover Cameron Park, El Dorado Hills, Folsom, all the way to like the Rancho area. And let's see, I think that
was it.
Oh yeah, here's our office. So yeah, that's my gym. Like right now it's all Valentine's Eve. So yeah, but that's about it. There's some cards in here, but please feel free to give us a call. I know with real estate, last minute, like the buyer's side or the seller's like, I'm gonna clean myself, and then the agent gets there and is like, really? So we get it, give us a call, we'll get you in like right away, and we just appreciate your referrals, and I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Some of you need to go to coffee with Lindsay because her marketing is making your marketing look bad. Oh, you know, it's so like there's someone putting herself out there and she is rocking it. You guys with me?
Yeah.
And she's doing what you need to do in the real estate base. She's having success and she's in this room. And so you should all keep that. If you don't have her number, keep it on speed dial, you know, cleaning so you can remember -Lindsay. And those are the things you're like, no problem. I got some on speed dial. Okay, good.
Thank
Next.
you so much.
You bet. Thank you, Lindsay. Good job. And you all, the food's in the bag, coffee, it's all Lindsay said she has to go. I know. Give her a hand again. Next, I want to tell you about a company called Revive. And who knows what Revive is? You guys remember? So Revive, and those of you online, they will lend you up to $500,000 to remodel a home before it goes on the market. So when someone says, well, I'm a Compass, they're going to give me $100,000 to remodel this home, $250,000, will you? You say, absolutely. I'll put you in touch with our Revive program. We revive your property, the landscaping, the home. They will gut the kitchen. They will do some crazy stuff. And so let me just type it in here. Susie, let me make sure I got the, I'm going to give you the phone number. All right, so the phone number to Revive, because you're going to want this number. This will help you get listings you would not have gotten. So here it is. It's called Revive. The CEO is Michael Alladawi. We've known him for years. Michael Alla, Alladawi. I'm looking at him. He looks like a movie star. And he's from Newport Beach. And he has millions of dollars in the bank. You need $50,000 to redo the roof. You need to redo the carpet. You need to remodel the home, and he'll do it. The phone number is 949-336-2616. Let's put that in the chat. Somebody listening online, 949-336-2616. And his website's called I Love Revive, REVIVE.com. Go to his website. You will need this. Someone's gonna look at you and go, my home's a mess. I don't know what to do. You know, I think for $10,000, we could refloor the whole thing. For another $5 or $10,000, we could repaint. Another $5,000, probably about $25,000, we could bring this home back into its former glory. We have a department that within what we do that handles this. And that department for us is a company called Revive. We work with them. I work with them exclusively. Do you work with anybody else? You know, I work with them exclusively. Let me put you in touch with Revive, and they will lend them $25,000. It's amazing how they do this. And you know what they have to pay back when it's done? $25,000. They lend them 25. They lend them $250,000. I know. You go to their website. They lend them $250,000. They pay back $250,000.
Come again.
That's
Howard.
it.
There's
That's
fees
it.
or no?
No fees. That's how it works. Now, what you don't know is they have to use the Revive
Contract.
electrician. The Revive roofer, the Revive, and then he has a deal, and you think, well, then we're gonna get ripped on the roof. And no. He's bringing them a book of business, and then they cut him 10-15% of the job, and he gets his money through there. And they can go. You take our electrician and bid it with the electricians, with other contractors, other roofers, and that's how that works. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So that's Revive. I want you to have that weapon. Another weapon. I'm going to give you an update. On this, let's see, where do I want to go with this? I'm going to give you an update. As you know, EXP hired a new president. Have you all seen the headlines? Yeah. It was the most famous CEO of Keller Williams of all time. He worked there for 31 years. He built Keller Williams. He was the magic at Keller Williams. Pete Carroll was magic at USC. He's been magic up in Seattle Seahawks. You got Roll Tide, Alabama football. I know you guys get all intense for things, but Nick Saban, John Wooden, you have Bill Walsh, San Francisco 49ers. There are certain coaches, things happen. Lee Iacocca ran forward. He came out with the Mustang, most popular car of all time, goes to Chrysler, comes out with the Chrysler minivan, the first minivan, most popular car of all time. It's not the company, it's the person. And so sometimes you get the right person. We just hired Mark Willis. Now, his prior company is doing everything in their power to stop that. They do not want us to have Bill Walsh. For you old timers, he was the coach of the San Francisco 49ers. They don't want us to have Nick Saban. They don't, and I can't blame them. They want to stop it. We're going to get through this. It'll take a month or 2 or 3. We're gonna, but they're doing legal moves in the courts to stop him from his no compete was up last December after 6 years. He's a free man, but they're still trying to stop it. So, but it's pretty exciting. I am pumped. All past present and future team leaders, regional directors, franchise owners, especially the ones who used to be team leaders, used to be regional directors, used to own Keller, they're all blown away like, oh my gosh, you guys got Mark. It's a stamp of approval on our company. And he built the most successful real estate company ever in the history of the world. That's who they are. And it's just, there was the period of Century 21, the Gold Coat people. Then there was the Coldwell Banker dynasty. Then there was the Remax dynasty. Then there was the Keller Williams dynasty. And now there's the EXP dynasty. Look at it. And in 10, 20 years, there might be somebody new, but right now, this is our time. This is your company. The difference is when I was at Remax and it was their dynasty, it meant nothing to me financially. I was as good as my escrows, right? And when I was at Keller Williams for 8 years, during their dynasty, it meant nothing to me. I was as good as my escrows. Are you with me? And then all of us at EXP, we're all shareholders. And I'm telling you, if you watch the stock last few days on this news, it's booming. I mean, it's up. We're up over $500 million in the last week. In value, and you wait, we get into the spring selling season. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you what's going to happen, but it's going to be good. All right, so next, in my opinion, next is I'm going to give you an update. I will not say the name of the company because I'm arranging for a meeting with Glenn Sanford and 3 of the president and everyone. They're all flying to Cabo. Glenn's going to be meeting with them. Glenn doesn't know this yet, but here's the concept. And again, if you know the name of the company, I've told a few of you, please don't say it, but they're giving an exclusive to EXP. They're hitching their wagon to our star. They think we will have 500,000 agents in the next 5 years. And by the way, that'll take us, I believe, personally, my opinion, a $40 billion evaluation. So take your stock and watch what happens to it. We are in. This is big. So, they're giving us an exclusive. Here's what it works. You've all heard of the virtual tours, right? Mm-hmm. And when we get listings, you'll see we had 80 people go check out the virtual tour. They went in the kitchen, they went in the family room, they went in the backyard, they spun around the pool, virtual tours. Or 180 people. When you go to a big time listing agent and you say, Joey Satriano, you had 117 people hit the virtual tour, right, Joey? Yes. And you're retired from real estate now because of the revenue share component. You don't do much real estate. Do you do any real estate anymore? Very little. Hey, it doesn't have to. Is it nice? If you didn't have to, it is pretty nice. Like it's been 3.5 years for me, and it's like really awesome. But here's the deal: how many of those 117 people that clicked on the virtual tour did you actually talk to, Joey? Maybe 2. So what happens is you get a button click. Cindy Silva is in the kitchen of your listing in Granite Bay on Castle Peak Drive. Would you like to join her? And when they hit the virtual tour, they're expecting to go into the kitchen. It puts them into an avatar body. And they're in the kitchen at the push of a button. They're walking around the kitchen going, this is different. They see their avatar hand and then they go this way to the family room. They walk to the family room in the avatar body just instantly. Would you like, oh, Cindy's now in the family room. Would you like to join Cindy? I go, yes. I beam in, like beam me up, Scotty, like Enterprise, like here I am. I'm standing there. I go, hey, Cindy, this may be a little weird, but I'm the listing agent, Brent Gove. This is my listing. The sellers are my dear friends. I've sold 7 properties for them. Just want to see if you have any questions. Yeah, like, do you have any offers? Because I love this. I have to have this house. Oh, wow, Cindy. Matter of fact, I have 5 offers with 3 more coming in. She says, oh my gosh. I go, well, do you have an agent, Cindy? No, I don't. Well, funny thing, I don't represent any of the 8 other offers. And would you like me to represent you? Yes. Would you like to know what you have to do to get this property? Yes. Well, funny thing, my sellers have empowered me to tell you what you have to do. And so right now the property is listed at $750,000. I've got offers up at $825 right now. And I think I got one coming in at about $850. Tell me your situation. Are you all cash? You're going to have a loan, blah, 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 blah. And she says, I go, well, you know what? If anyone's in the family room, they can hear us talking because it's a live environment. If I just touch a button on my phone, I can call you and have a private conversation with you on your phone. And she was like, but I didn't give you my number. I said, I know, we have technology. They'll just route me directly to your phone. It's no big deal. Like when you talk to your Uber driver, you don't have his number. It connects you to the Uber driver using a third-party calling service. It's illegal to do that. And so she was sure, if you just tap the chest of the avatar, they can't see you do it, but you just go boom, boom, it calls her phone and go, hey, Cindy, Brent here. Now we have perfect clarity. And I said, okay, you want this house? I want it. Okay, here's what my sellers want. They want to close in 2 weeks. They want 30 days to move out. They don't want to pay rent, don't want a security deposit for that period. You're gonna have to pay $850, and you mentioned you're all cash. So if you're good with those terms, I will write that up on a DocuSign right now. Or if you want to meet at the property, no, I've seen that property, write it up. And then how many think you might double in more of your listings?
Yeah.
How many you think? And then let's say that this happened during this meeting over the past hour. Someone's in there. You get out and it says Cindy Silva and Steve Evans are in your property on Castle Peak Drive. Would you like to re-invite them in? And it says, and so I said yes. I hit yes to Cindy, and it says, it pings her phone. Hey, there's the listing agent on Castle Peak in Loomis or Newcastle's in the property right now. He's inviting you to join him to tell you everything you want to know about that property. But you join, she goes, that's weird. Boom, she shows up, and now you're re-talking to the prospect in the property. Is that cool?
Awesome.
Now here's the deal. You will absolutely double in. We have a guy who does 25 million a month in Santa Barbara on the ocean. He sells 25 million a month himself. I go, how many do you double in? He goes, oh, a few of them. He goes, how'd you like to double in like all of them? He goes, so I could do 50 million a month? I go, yeah. And he goes, oh my, I told him about it. I go, but you got to join EXP. He goes, I'll join tomorrow. How many think it's cool that it's exclusive through us? So if Glenn says yes in 3 weeks, so everyone say your prayer. Is this an awesome product?
Yeah.
And the name of the company is not going to tell you. So because I don't want Remax to do a deal with this company. And honestly, they've evaluated all the companies. They believe we're the next big thing, and they're hitching their wagon to our store. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So if that goes down, we'll give you more about that. Finally, we have, as you know, a master lead generation workshop coming up the 24th at the Placer County Board of Realtors from 10 to noon. It is vital you all be there. End of story. You don't need to work on your listing presentation. You don't need to review the contracts. You don't need to learn about loans. Yes, you have to do all those things, but here's the deal. What if you had people calling you every week to list homes? How many would like that? How about if you had people calling you every day or every other day, like, hey, I want to buy a home. And if they're, 400,000 or 500,000, you heard Luis say it's very competitive in that price range. And so you're like, oh, my standard is 750 to 2 million. So 500,000 isn't good enough for me. And you refer it to a very good agent, right? Like an Eric Laughlin or a Steve Evans or whoever says, I'll take them. How many would take clients all day long, motivated clients at 400,000 or 500,000?
Yeah.
And so you refer them, take a 25% referral fee, but so that your issue is lead generation. So we have a speaker coming that I've arranged for. 7 years ago, he's a correctional officer at Folsom State Penn. And I just spit on you, sorry. Penn. That's why there is I lean back in this room here. So here's the deal. It's a splash zone in SeaWorld right here. Yeah, they all hide behind the tarp. Anyway, so here's the deal. Where was I going?
Folsom State.
Folsom State Prison. Today he makes $100,000 a month selling real estate. Not a year, a month. I'm sure you should go show property, do something different. You don't need to, he has nothing to teach you, right? He doesn't spend $1 on marketing, not $1. So if you're here, like, I don't have a marketing budget, Aaron Rawls is for you right now. Every month he's been knocking down 100,000 a month. Because I have so much momentum right now, I think I'm gonna make 100,000 a month all year. I'm paying off the home, I'm paying off the rental cars. I just bought my wife a Range Rover, I'm paying it off this month. They're 130 grand. He goes, we'll be debt free, everything paid cash for. He's going to teach you how he does what he does. And the more he thought about it, he goes, man, I don't really realize it. Everything I do is just kind of around lead generation. I get to pick and choose my clients. I'm just killing it. He wants to learn from Aaron Rawls.
Yeah.
It's 30-minute talk he's given. The next speaker is Rick Jiha. He owns 7 Keller Williams franchises, master faculty trainer, cities clapping. My favorite Keller Williams trainer of all time when I was a team leader, I knew 100 of them was Rick Cheeha. He is with EXP. He's coming in. He's going to rock it on lead gen. He does 45 million part-time without even thinking twice about it. Very little focus. He's brought over 3,000 agents and brokers to EXP, lives in a multi-million dollar home in Monterey overlooking the ocean. We were there this weekend. I mean, it's just like, it couldn't be any better. The king of Saudi Arabia and Donald Trump could not get a better view. He was on the 18th hole for Pebble Beach. So he's going to teach for 30 minutes. But our keynote speaker, these are the losers. Okay? These are the losers. So, I mean, I'm just total losers. Okay. The keynote speaker moved to Reno 4 years ago. He had never sold a home in Reno, didn't know much about it. Last year, his 4th year, he closed $287 million worth of real estate. Pretty good. Well, no, not on his own. Yeah. He did. If once you understand lead generation, people will flock to you, right? Cindy, how many agents work with you now?
There's 4.
4. Darcy, how many agents work with you now? 10. John, how many agents work with you now?
6.
6, exactly. So people will start to join you once you get it. Why did I have a big team? I understood lead generation. My venue was open houses and the radio. And everyone has their own jam, their own way of doing it. So Chris is coming from Reno. He closed 692 homes last year, his 4th year, from scratch, from a dead scratch. So how many did you close last year? And could you learn from him? Well, I don't know if I want to have a big team. And he actually spends money on marketing. What if he just did 1/10 of what he said? What's 10% of 692? 69 homes. Who wants to sell 69 homes this year? I'm sure you should just go show property. You don't need to be there. You should just go, go on a listing appointment. You don't need this. Are you kidding me? There will be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents at PCAR. It's again the 24th from 10 to noon. I expect every one of you to be in the front row. Listen to me close. Never, ever sit in the middle or the back. Be a front rower. Be a front rower. Take notes. Don't you dare sit there and listen for 2 hours like this. That is a fool's errand. That is the dumbest thing. You sit there with a notepad and you write as quick as you can. I was with the John Maxwell leadership event. John Maxwell spoke Thursday night, Friday morning. They gave us books this thick. I filled the book halfway through Friday. Filled the book. I mean, I burned through 150 pages. As quick as I could write everything. There was like 7 speakers on Friday, 7 on Saturday. I got to be the final speaker. It was kind of cool, but I burned through 2 books. I'm a note taker. If you the act of just writing it down, I'm telling you, please don't come to these team meetings and stare and watch. You must write down things. You probably don't get the phone number for Revive. You didn't write down notes on this, that. You didn't write down what they were saying about Lens. You didn't write down, what was Alicia's last name? Stearman. But you didn't write it down because you were watching. Same with you guys online. I'm watching you guys. You can have those frozen pictures up. I'm watching you. No, I mean it. I see you. We see you. You're beautiful. But here's the deal. You didn't write down, Rodney Rose. Well, I live in Modesto. Well, he can do loans anywhere in California. I live in San Diego. Alicia can do them anywhere in San Diego. Well, I live in Nevada or Idaho. They won't talk to me. They'll talk to you and they'll connect you with somebody great there. And they can. But so here's the deal. This is a big deal. Now I'm going to end with this. Are you ready? When is it? Thursday, February 24th. Where is it? Placer County Board of Realtors. What is it going to cost you? These classes were $40 and $50 a pop at my prior company. I'm paying for the whole thing. $0. The next month, what are we doing? How to become a powerhouse listing agent at Placer County. What's that going to cost you? $0. The next month, we're doing how to become a luxury listing agent. Where's that going to be? Wrong. Granite Bay Country Club. Right? So here's the deal. If you're doing luxury, do you go to anything with the word county? No. If you're doing luxury, where do you go? A luxury environment. We're going to be in the wedding venue at Granite Bay Country Club. We think about this stuff. We're going to put you under chandeliers. We're going to have breakfast served. It's going to be hundreds and hundreds of agents, and you're going to learn how to do luxury agent by the top agents. We've planned out the entire year. Man, we get to where we're going on purpose. Are you an on-purpose person? Do you sit down with coffee and dream and create? We're signing a contract today for 400 rooms in Kapalua, Maui. Do you have any idea what that cost? Woo! Go Brent! I'm freaking out a little bit. But Next week, we hope to sign a contract with the T-Mobile Center for 20,000 of us. Couple years from now, we're working on venues for 2025 and 2026. We have people scouring the. Are you an on-purpose person, or you just let it happen? Just roll with it. I mean, that is kind of my nature. But believe it or not, underneath this golden retriever personality is an 800-pound gorilla. You know, I am a monster in a good way, right? I mean. That doesn't sound good, does it?
It does. It's great.
I am a monster. I am like happy, this and that, but I am inspired. Joe, I want more money. No, I want more change. I want your life to change. But listen to me, you gotta want your life to change. So have you read Armandina's book, The Greatest Sales in the World? Have you read The Richest Man in Babylon? Have you read The Friendship Factor? Have you read Eric's book? Have you read Dale Carnegie's How to Influence? I don't need that. Yes, you need it. You desperately need it. And so I want you to come. So the final thought is this. It is more important when you come to this lead generation workshop, this on Thursday, the 24th, that you bring guests. Like, oh, I'll be there, Brent, I'll be there. You're completely missing it. You get people to drive up from Fresno. You get people, I looked at somebody in the room and they smiled at me because they have friends in Fresno. They know like 68% there. You would invite somebody, yeah, get in the car and come up. How often do you hear from somebody who makes $100,000 a month? It was pretty rare. Who 4 years ago did nothing and closed 692 homes last year. This is rare. Owns 7 Keller Williams franchise, master faculty trainer. My favorite. We got 3 incredible. It's going to be a life-changing moment. If they have a listing appointment, they need to cancel and reschedule. If they're having open heart surgery, cancel and reschedule. If they're getting married, we'll marry them right before the event. I mean, you got to be a little crazy. People are like, okay, I'm going to be there. Why do I get results? Because I look at people and say, you need to be there. And I don't know who I'm talking to, but you need to be in Cabo in 4 weeks. I'm not going. Sold out. People have been buying tickets all day yesterday, last night. I don't have any rooms for them, but in faith, they're buying the round trip airline ticket. By the way, it's $285 round trip right now. I just checked from it's San Jose to Cabo, right? I don't know what it is for Sacramento, but some people it's $285. You need to be at Cabo at our event. It's once a year, and you'll be so inspired with the people you met, or you can just stay home and work. I love you guys. Was this good today? Yeah. All right. We'll see you, man. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Can you give me 1 minute?
Oh, dude, is there anything else? Oh, I forgot. Oh. Wait. We had a guest speaker. All right, go ahead, Aaron.
I'm just gonna take.
I'm gonna blame you.
Remind me. It was right there. You don't need to go there. Just leave it there.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take. All right, sorry. That's okay. I'm just gonna take 3 minutes, and I did bring a book for everybody. My gift, about $1,000 in books for you guys.
Wow.
So there should be one for everybody, and if we ran out, let me know and I'll ship you one, because we got a standing room only. So I got some books up here. We got them on the table. There's some in the back. My business card is in there, and I am a part of the team. And so you might have heard me because I'm the co-host on the Brent Gove podcast. So I want to encourage you guys to listen to that. I want to give you one success tip, and I want to offer you guys 2 things for free beyond the book. So the success tip is to create an identity that you are the ultimate student. That you are the ultimate student. And there'll be another day I'll come and do more of a training. I'm actually attending this meeting. You're going to find me right in the front row every week, whether I'm speaking or not. I live locally here. And another day I'll tell you more about my training. But one of the things I decided to do early in my career when I was a bottom producing salesperson is I planted my flag with my mentor. And I said, I will be the ultimate student. So I want to encourage you to plant your flag with Brent and be the ultimate student. Because Brent is one of the top real estate professionals in the world. That's who he is. I wrote down a couple things that he said. He said, if you're the ultimate student, how many of you resonate with the idea of being the ultimate student of what Brent's teaching by a show of hands? Okay, if you're willing to declare that, he said, me with Alicia and Rodney. That was what Brent said. So what does that mean? It means me with Alicia and Rodney. Okay, he said, be at the lead generation workshop. And he did an effective job of really motivating you guys to be excited about going. But what does that mean when he says be at the lead generation workshop?
Show up.
Be at the lead generation workshop. Those, by the way, those of you online, we can't physically give you a book, but I have an audio book, and that link should be in the chat, or it'll be in there in a moment. So all of you guys, I know about you, so you're going to get a free audio book. And if any of you in the room want the audio book, I'll give you that too for free. I'll tell you that in just a moment. Brent said, be a front rower. So if you're the ultimate student, what does that mean?
Sit in the front row.
See, you could be in the room and miss it. You guys were in the room with one of the top real estate professionals in the world, and you could miss it. Brent said, are you on purpose? And that's something to really give some thought to. One of the things you'll get by listening to the podcast, especially the ones that Brent's on with me, he is one of the most intentional human beings I've ever met. And there's a lot that you can learn about how he sets up his day. He also said that he is planning all the way out to 2026. So and he probably has future plans beyond that. But how far should you be thinking out? If he's saying 226, then you should be thinking 226 or whatever he's thinking, however far out that he thinks. So what I'm doing for you right now is I'm shaping your listening, because you could be around somebody that can take your life to a level far beyond where it's at now, and you could miss it because you don't hear it. I still work with my mentor that I met in 1994. His name is Dr. Donald Moyne. He wrote the foreword to that book that I gave you guys. So I have two free things for you. One is, if any of you would like a half an hour with me, one-on-one, you send me a text. My business card is inside of the book. So, and that's for you guys online as well. I'll come meet with you before this meeting, or we can meet after the meeting, or we can meet over the phone. I have an office here in Rockland. I live locally. And my gift for you is a free course on how to set up a morning routine. And without explaining morning routines, how many of you already recognize, just by me making that statement, that you need some help with your morning routine? I was on the phone with a gentleman in EXP, makes low year 200,000, big year he makes 500,000. I'm on a coaching call with him for free. He says to me, I block out 3 to 4 every day to prospect, but I never do it. That's his declaration. When I get on coaching calls with people like yourself, here's what I hear all the time. Eric, I am inconsistent. Okay, so if that's your foundation, I'm inconsistent, and now you come to a meeting like this and you're trying to pile success on top of I'm inconsistent. Or I'm not good at prospecting. Many of you might have that mindset, I'm not good at prospecting. Or I'm not good at recruiting. Okay, Brent just shared that there's it's a president of the company, right? The new gentleman? Yeah. That's a hot thing to invite people to. You invite people to the lead generation meeting, and then the next month, I didn't write it down whatever the free class is the next month. There's all this exciting stuff to invite people to. And if your mindset is, I'm not good at recruiting, or I'm not good at team building, it's really hard to build a successful organization if you're building on that. Okay. So what if I told you I have the ability to change your thinking? I'm a former cook at McDonald's up in Auburn. Okay, my joke is, I'm not going to show it here because we don't have time, but I was very successful. My first job I ever had right out of high school, I made over 100,000. I didn't make over $100,000. I made over 100,000 hamburgers. My other joke is, you know what type of people work at McDonald's? People that apply. That was my mindset. Now I'm an international trainer. I had the guts to prospect Brent and say, I can help you. That takes a lot of courage to prospect. Brent's massively successsul. For me to have the courage to prospect him and say, I can add value to what it is that you're doing. And I'm the guy that used to be a cook at McDonald's. I went to Sierra College. I'm a college dropout. And I learned from masters how to think differently. You all heard of Tony Robbins? I worked for him for 3 years. I was his corporate trainer for 2 years in the early 2000s. So Brent brought me on the team. I'm the co-host of the podcast, and I'd love to support you guys. And there's a variety of ways I can do it. So if you like a free class of mine, it's just a link. I'll send it to you. You don't have to opt in for anything, on how to set up your morning routine. And the way I teach it, I want 4 minutes to 12 minutes a day. That's it. You give me 4 minutes to 12 minutes a day, and I'll teach you how to let go of, I'm inconsistent. I'm not going to forget all that. I'm going to teach you how to think differently. You're not giving me the 4 to 12 minutes. Who are you giving it to? It is surprisingly simple how easy it is. And it has a lot to do with how you start off your day and what are you saying to yourself? Brent doesn't say I'm inconsistent. That's not how he talks. You want to be the ultimate student. So that's my share for today. I'll be here every week. We'll do some more training with you guys in the future. If you'd like a free coaching session, text me. If you'd like my free class, text me. That's good for you guys online. And if you didn't get a book, let me know, and I'll make sure I get you a book somehow, some way. All right, thank you very much.
Tony Robbins teaches us constant. When you hear something good, take immediate action. Take swift, immediate action. If you don't text him today, you will never text him, and he'll never go through that morning routine for you. You start saying the right things, and you build a foundation that can support the life you want to have. That was brilliant. Thank you. I loved it. I love Eric. Yeah. All right, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have I love you all, whether you have a date or not. I love you. I love you. Have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday right here, 10 to 11. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Brent.
You've been online.
Yeah.